All right. I hope this is working okay. It says I'm live. We're gonna leave it. Okay. Let me double check. Actually, I might need to move my light just a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't... It's almost blinding me. Maybe if I... Sorry, I'm always adjusting so much. Right at the end of this. And I'm getting a phone call at the moment, so good thing I turned my phone on silent. I always forget to do that. I'm sorry if I'm shaking you. I'm just trying to get the lighting. It's so light up here and like dark back here, and so I was trying to make it a little more even, but we're just gonna go with it. Because my son is taking a nap at the moment, and so I have a little bit of time to squeeze in a video. So, I'm excited. I want to share two new things from the new annual catalog. The first thing is the stamp set that we're going to use today. Let me, excuse me, let me actually get this pulled up and make sure I'm streaming okay. So I wanted to show you a couple things from the annual catalog, and I was smarter today and actually marked them, so I'm not sitting here flipping through the page. Sorry, I'm just doing two things at once. So this is the stamp set we're going to use today, and it's called Grandeur, excuse me. And this is a stamp set that you can get by hosting. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about hosting while we're making the card. So I want to try and get started pretty soon. But this is the stamp set that we're going to use. And you can only purchase it if you host. And you can get it for $10.50, which is amazing. It's a beautiful stamp set, and there's so many things you can do with it. I also wanted to show you these slimline envelopes that we have. I've been playing with the slimline cards lately, and they're on page 137 in the annual catalog. They come in like 3 different colors right now, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really fond of them like printing on the inside, because it kind of makes it hard. You got to kind of make it match with the style that's on the inside, when maybe you want to do a different kind of style. So it'd be cool if they were just kind of plain, didn't have that on the inside. But I've made things to where they kind of match up and go with it, sort of, and work. So anyways, I've been playing with those. I have not really ever made slimline envelope cards before, and so I've just been playing with that, and it's actually been pretty fun this last week. So this is the first one that I made, just with random. I took some of the leftover DSP I had from a couple years ago, actually, and I just cut it into strips and just played and made all kinds of different designs on the front. And then I used our new color and contour stamp set, this one here, and I used this stamp here, and I colored it with the Stampin' Right markers and stamped it, so that's how I got the different colors with the stem and the flowers. And then I colored in just a tiny bit on the flowers and the stems. And these are some, I think there's some old die cuts out of the Dress to Impress. But I think they're just some buttons. I've got tons of them I have pre-cut, and so I just use them in the corners. But you can use jewels, you can use all kinds of different things. And then I honestly cannot remember which stamp set this is out of, but it just says best wishes. I think it was a paper pumpkin, honestly. I think it was a paper pumpkin one. I can't remember, but you can use any greeting that you want down there. And then on the inside, I just stamped the same thing with the color and contour stamp set. Anyways, I was having a blast with this one. It was fun. And this is the new envelopes, and see how the inside has that printed area on it, and I think it goes okay. Like it doesn't take away from the card or anything, you know, when they're pulling it out. I don't think it will take away from it, but like I said, you know, it just would be better to have it just plain, to me. But that's just me. Alright, so our new stamp set, this Garden Grandeur, this is the one we're going to play with tonight. And I grabbed a card and was just playing with it, seeing what I wanted to do. I think I did a couple, I can't find the samples I did where I filled it in with the color they have on here. And I didn't care for it as much. I really like all the detail that the flowers have, the leaves, the buds. I mean, all of it is just so pretty. And so I didn't want just a blah in the background. So I decided to color it in myself with the blends. You can totally use this in the background if you want more of an abstract look to it. But there's so much detail, so you can go either way with it. So yeah, with this one I decided just to use all the pieces, all the outline pieces, none of the dark pieces. So that I went ahead and put them all on blocks already, and they're ready to go. And I just used Mementos ink, so just the black, and then I colored it in with the blends. And so this is going to be the front piece. This was my first experiment. I was just playing with it, see what would come of it, you know, and I loved it. And I was like, this would look so pretty on a slimline, because like I said, I was getting excited about the slimlines last week, so I decided to go ahead and make one with the slimline, and oh, it's so pretty. I think it turned out great. I love it. The colors in it and stuff. I used the same color scheme exactly, and just did the slimline and the inside, and I think it just turned out wonderful. And it looks good. It looks okay with that inside because it's kind of got the black and white with it, you know. So I think it looks okay with it. So what we're going to do today is make a regular card with the same kind of style. So I'm going to keep this as the front piece, and we're going to decorate the inside and an envelope for today. And I'll show you how to do that and to color the flowers and stuff in. And so for this front piece, you can use any greeting you want here. You could just stamp something. I've been playing, I mean, this is a retired stamp set, so it's not one you can get now, but it comes from the Punch Party stamp set, and I just used this one, and the Heartfelt Thanks in the middle. And so with this, it's really, 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 really hard to line up those two pieces, and so I tried my best, but they're off a little bit, so I still took my black Stampin' Right marker, and I just kind of filled in the gap and kind of made it look even, and it gives it a little bit more depth to it. And you can see on this one here, it's a little bit darker even than that one. I used the same one just with a happy birthday. And it's a little bit darker, but I think it's so pretty. It just reminds me of like a pendant or something, you know, and it just looks really delicate and pretty with it. So that's the one I chose to do. We'll probably pop it up. I'm thinking maybe. I don't know. With this one I did. I popped it up with dimensionals, and I think it looks really pretty and has the embellishments and everything. So we're going to decorate the inside of this one. Obviously we want it a little more simple. It's hard for me to keep it simple. I really like this big flower, but I'm just really thinking it's too much for the inside. So I'll probably use this smaller flower and the bud, maybe. And then there's 3 different leaves. There's one that's well, it's probably easier to show you on here. So there's the one that's the double, and then a skinny one here and a fatter one here. So you have those 3 leaves. And then there's 2 little sprigs that have like a little tiny bud off the top, and they have little leaves on them too. And then there's one larger bud, and this one is the one that fits really perfect right in between these 2. And so you can see how I did that right here. It has the double sprig, and then the bud goes right in between it. And if you flip it around, you can see it that way. It's just upside down. So, and then you can see how I've used all the other little ones. So we'll just play with it. It's fun just to make up your own. You know, you can do, like here I used the double, and then I put one in between it. You know, and you can make your own, you know, batch of leaves in whatever design you'd like. Like here I have the double, but then one off the bottom. So you can make it be all kinds of different shapes. They don't have to be the same. They can all be different. Or you can do them all the same, however you want. Just, it's fun to just get creative and make something pretty. So we're going to grab a scrap piece of paper. I'll try and find a halfway. Oh, I found a clean one. Yay. I have a pile of them down here that I use, and sometimes I just reuse a bunch of them. Just let them dry in between. So we're going to start. I don't think we'll stamp off the edge a whole bunch, but I think we'll go off a little bit. So I just want a scrap piece of paper. I have issues with like dirtying my grid paper because I actually like using the lines and the grids sometimes. And anyway, it's just a personal issue. So we are going to pull out our mementos, and that's all we use for the ink. And we're going to start with this smaller flower of the two. It's going to be the smaller one. And this is going to be the inside, like I said. So I want to do, what I'm thinking is, down here in the bottom, I need to ink that up a little bit more. Sometimes it's hard to get the very center. The outsides get inked up so well. And the center is kind of light. Hopefully that's good. Okay. So I didn't really like going off the edge. I tried that on this one, going off the edge, and I just didn't like it as much. I kind of like, oh, I hope I didn't touch that. I kind of like having the green down at the bottom. So I'm not going to go off the edge with this. I'm going to stay inside. And I'm thinking something about like that. And I want to leave a little bit bigger space because I'm going to do one of the buds over on the side and then have some leaves coming down here. And then I haven't really decided what we're going to do over there yet. But we will figure it out as we go. Oh, that came out nice. Okay. So, I know for sure, let's see. I think I'm going to do this up here because I want it to come up taller. So if I put it down here, it might be too low. So I think I'm going to come out up on the top, and then we'll just bring in some leaves, because this one here is going to hold our little bud that's coming out the top. So we'll go about like that, and I really just want it to kind of meet the edge of that flower. I didn't quite meet it, but that is okay. Alright, and then we'll take our bud, we're just going to come right in here, about right there. And as we stamp this, it'll look a little bit messy because it's all just in black and white. But when we go and color it, oh my gosh, it just comes to life and looks so pretty. So we're going to take our bigger leaf, and we're going to come in right down here with that bigger one. Beautiful. And I think I'm going to do another one on the other side with this same leaf. We'll kind of put it right in here. Like that. Alright. And then I'm going to take, where's my skinny one? Oh, it's hiding over here. Okay. This is the skinny leaf. And I want to kind of come off of this one here. And trying to think. I think actually I'm going to leave that ink up because I'm going to use it in a second. But I'm going to do this one first. This is the double leaf again. And we're going to put it probably coming off the edge here, I think, something like that. And then we'll use our skinny one and come right in the middle here, and that'll put an extra leaf. And then I'm just trying to imagine all this. And I think I want to do just something down here. Like, this is obviously so close to the bottom, but I'm just going to put some texture down here that we will color in to be more leaves. I think that's good, and we'll kind of just make it to be whatever we want it to be. Okay, and now we're going to put a couple of these little sprigs in and around. So we'll have one come right out of here. Like that. And I'm going to have one. I'm trying to decide if I want it to come out down here or up here. I think I actually like it down here. I'll come off right there with it. Alright, and I think I just want to fill in, I'm just going to grab one of the leaves. It doesn't really matter because this space is really empty, so I just want to fill it in with something, and we will color it in, like I said, to be a leaf. Okay, I think I want to leave it at that for now for that side, because you still want to leave room for them to write. And then for the top up here, I think I want to leave it a little bit more simple and just do, I'm going to flip that around because it's easier for me to stamp from the corner. But I'm stamping here, but it will be like this in the card. So I'm just turning it, and I'm going to come from the corner. I'm going to do the double leaf. And from the double leaf, we're going to do another bud. And then I want to, I'm going to use the double leaf, but I'm going to use them kind of separate. So on this side, I'm just going to use one to come in this way. And then another little one off the other side. So it's the same one, but we're using it differently. And then on the other side, I think I'll come in, trying to think of it this way. Let's see. I'm going to put another one there, but it's going to be, alright, so this one we're going to use this little one right there. And then I'm going to grab this bigger one. Let's see. No, I think I'm going to use the big one. Decisions. That's the fun about playing with these, though, is like you can do so many different things. So I'm kind of just trying to make this look like some leaves are coming in off the edge of the page. I'm going to do another one from right up here in that little clump. Okay. And then again, I think I'm just going to, around the bottom here, put in a little bit of texture just so we can make that look like leaf. Okay. I think that's good. Now, should I do the envelope too or color this first? I think I'm going to color this first, honestly. We'll just close the ink pad for now. Gosh, I can't decide because I'd rather let these dry before I start coloring. On them. So see, we didn't tear it up too much, but we went over the edge a little bit. But my favorite thing is like having a clean space at the end and being able to see the beauty of just what we made and not all of this mess around it. So I always bring in a scrap piece of paper just to have the mess on and then be able to get the mess out of here at the end. Just like that. Okay, so let me grab my blends. We're going to need So Saffron Light. We will need our Flirty Flamingo Light and Dark. And then we will also need our light granny apple green and our light shaded spruce. And these are the colors we're going to use to color in. Alright, so we're going to start, we stamped this one first, so we'll start with coloring this one first. And you know what, I might just go ahead and, after I went and moved it. Alright, I'm going to bring my scrap piece of paper back in, just because I might color over the edge, because I made all this foliage go off the side. So the first thing we're going to do is color the flowers. And as you can see, I wanted the edge to be white. So I didn't want to go all the way to the edge with the yellow. I just wanted the center to have the yellow and then go into the pink. Hopefully you can see that okay if I get a little bit closer. And I didn't want it to be exact. Hopefully it'll smooth out. There we go. I didn't want it to be exact, but it blends really, really well with just kind of scribbling. So hopefully you guys will try this out. It's really, really fun. But I'm going to show you how I did this. So I like using the brush end just because I'm a painter, I'm an artist, and so I am used to using a paintbrush. And so if I can use that end, I would rather use it. I'm not as good with drawing and coloring with markers and stuff, so I don't tend to use the other end very much unless I'm trying to get like fine lines. But so yeah, I kind of just scribble, kind of just from the center. You can just pull marks out from to the side, and you just don't want to go all the way to the edge. And that's it. And then you want to take the pink, and the pink we kind of just want to go over some of these lines, and still just, you don't want to go all the way to the edge of the yellow though. You want to leave that yellow. I forgot I should do the bud at the same time. And then with the dark Flirty Flamingo, we just want to do the center and then like kind of like a starburst out the middle. And if you just do that little starburst, it'll blend itself. You don't have to worry too much about, you know, not having lines. It's okay to have those lines. You want to have a little bit of them. So I'm going to go back with the So Saffron. I forgot I should do this bud while I was up here. But I just do yellow for most of it, and then I only use, like, you want the white on the top still. I only use the light Flirty Flamingo, and I just kind of go along the bottom like that with it. And that's it for the flowers. I do those first because they're easy to pick out. Oops, you know what I forgot was the little buds right here, and for those, hopefully you can kind of see what I did here. Same thing, I just did yellow out to the edge and then the darker colors in, and on the other one I did the yellow around the outside and the pink in the middle. So hopefully that's easy to see. I never know, with the way I color, I should watch my video more and see if you guys can see. I tried to hold my hand out of the way. I'm used to like coloring like right on top of it, but I tried to hold my hand out of the way so that way you can see. And then I do take the dark one on this one and just do a tiny bit at the bottom of that one. Well, maybe just a little bit. Just brings a little bit more depth into it. Okay, so for the for the leaves, for the leaves we only use the two colors, the light shaded spruce and the light granny apple green. I start with the shaded spruce, and I just go along all these leaves and kind of go along the middle vein, and I just scribble, like I said, you know, there's no rhyme or reason exactly. And then I just kind of go one little line underneath where the ones that bend over, like these leaves that fold over, I do one little line under there because that's where a shadow would be. Like this one, where it folds over, there would be a shadow under there. So I do one line under there where that would be. And then on the vein, wherever there's lines already there, like Stampin' Up! Has really helped when it comes to coloring. They kind of put the lines where you'd want to put the darker color. And see how this one's folded over? We're going to do a line there. They put the leaves where you want, or the lines, I'm sorry, where you want the darker color. And so you don't have to worry too much about where to put it. You know, just put the darker color kind of where the lines are, and then the lighter color, just color over the top of everything else. And that's what helps blend it all together. So like I said, down here, we just made some texture marks, you know, so I just kind of am doing darker by the flower, and then we'll do lighter out away from it. Oops, I think that was actually some, that was part of the flower instead of the leaf. I'm talking too much and not paying attention. Alright. So, after we get the dark in everywhere, we just want to color the entire leaf with the Granny Apple Green light. And go right over the top of the shaded spruce that you already did, and that's what helps blend it together. I don't know if I should try and make that just look like a leaf, since I already put the... I went and put... We'll see what it looks like as a leaf. I went and put some green on there already, because I thought it was partly a leaf. But it's actually part of the flower, I think. But we can make it whatever we want it to be, can't we? Alright. That's the biggest thing when you stamp it all in black, is trying to differentiate between the flower and the leaves. Alright. We put a lot of foliage in this one. When it's not there, it just doesn't... When it's not colored in, it doesn't look like much. But see, even compared to the front, we put a lot on the inside one. But that's okay. That's the fun in it. Okay, so now we're going to color the other side, which this one should be a little bit easier. It's not as much. We'll start with the bud first, and like I said, I just start at the bottom and kind of pull it up. You don't really want like a stopping spot where it ends. You just want it to kind of wisp up into the other color. And that's how you kind of paint and make it look... And we don't use the dark on that one, we just do the light. Make it look more realistic, you know, by just using your wisps. Or whatever you would call it. Okay, we're going to go along the veins here again. I love painting. It is a lot of fun, which is why I love doing my cards, because I get to still use my artistic side and have fun with things, but I'm telling you, cards are a lot easier than paintings. Like, people just, they don't have wall space as much, you know, and they don't want to pay what it takes because of how long it took for you to make it, to paint it, you know, and people love to tell you all day how pretty it is and how nice it looks, but they don't want to buy it. So they just stack up and they stack up, and it just got to be too much for me. So I kind of had to stop painting and just go more towards what people want. People like the cards. It's something, a piece of art they feel like they can buy and give to somebody else, and it's not like a big hassle for them to try and rearrange their house to find a wall space for it. You know, all this craziness that goes along with a piece of art, I guess. So, I get to express myself in cards now. but I don't mind. I like it. It's just as fun, and it's definitely not as time consuming, and definitely not as, it's not as messy, that's for sure. You know, to pull out a bunch of stuff. Okay, so see, there's our inside pieces to match the front. The inside has a lot more foliage. I feel like I should add some to the front now, but we're going to keep it kind of simple because that green will pop a lot of stuff out. I like it. I think it's pretty. I kind of feel like I should have added some of those buds up in here a little bit coming out somewhere. I think actually I will add one just for a little pop of color. It's not even gonna show very much, but I want to do it like right here, showing. And then maybe maybe I'll do one here of those two little guys. We'll dry that for a second. So hopefully we don't smear the ink. But yeah, that'll bring a little bit more color, into it. So we'll do the yellow. I like that. That is nice. A little pop of some color through all that green, because the card's going to be green too. I think, at least, unless I totally decide to change my mind. But I was, man, I'm fumbling everything. I was just going to go with the same color scheme as this, with the black outline and the green. So I think. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is the envelope. Really quick to match it. Let's put these up here. And I gotta buckle down. My little boy's gonna be waking up soon. Alright, so I think we will do... Let's see if there's enough room. No, I think I'm going to do the small one on the front. I just don't want to upset the postman in case somebody wants to mail this. Alright, back to our mementos. Alright, so I'm going to do it kind of like this though, because I am going to do the rosebud smaller. I shouldn't say rosebud, it's a flower bud, whatever kind of bud it is. I don't know what kind of flower that is. It just makes me think of those. I don't know, I'm terrible with flower names. I only know the ones that are like obvious. Even though I used to work at a flower shop. I should know the names better. Excuse me. But I do remember their names, for the most part, of what I was working with there. I just don't know a lot of wildflowers, especially. Alright. I'm going to do this little bud in here. Alright. So I think I'm going to do... We're going to use our double stamp a bit out here to kind of fill in. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go this angle actually. Like that. I think out here we'll leave things a little more simple. Where's my fat leaf? Here it is. Alright, and then we're going to use a little... Okay, I think we'll do this one coming out up here. I wanted to kind of match up that matched it perfect. I wanted to match up that line with the flower so it looked like it was coming out kind of behind it. And that was perfect. Love it when that happens. Alright, this one we're going to do down here somewhere. I think I want it coming out behind too, so I'm going to grab just I actually have a little mask piece that I kind of cut. It goes right along there. I'm going to have it coming out, think about right there. That kind of overlapped that leaf. That was a little too close. Alright, let's get this colored. So there's room for return address and hopefully enough room for someone's address. Oh goodness, I might have done a little too much. What do you need, Frankie? My son is sticking his fingers under the door. Mommy can't leave. What do you need, son? Is your brother awake? He's in the spotlight now. Uh-oh, I kind of went out of line a little on that one. The nice thing about envelopes is they kind of get slightly dirty a little bit in the mail anyways. So I don't worry too much about them having a little bit of mess up, you know, if I get a little smudge on them or something, because sometimes they get, you know, other ink ran over the top of them or dropped or whatever. It gets little imperfections on it too. Alright. Oops. I don't usually put it on that one, but I guess we're going to do it on that one. Just started getting into autopilot. Alright. Let's pick out our leaves here. Do you guys like to color? Do you like to use the Stampin' blends? Do you like to, I used the Stampin' Right markers before I got the blends and colored a lot with them too. Some people don't like to color at all. They're like, no thank you. Just let me stamp the image, which is why they have a lot of the fill-in ones, where you can just fill it in with a random splat sometimes, you know, or even some of them they have fit exactly in there. I love those ones, of course. Some of them have the texture. Some of them, it's just fun. I love playing with stamps. There's so many different things you can do. I love the easiness of doing it with a stamp, and then I love the creativity and the painting part, you know, of coloring. All right. Now our envelope is done. Sometimes I'll do the back too, but we're not going to this time. All right. I'm going to get this out of the way. Do you need me, Frankie? Or are you just trying to spy? Spy on Mommy. What's that? You're spying? What do you need?
Just trying to see if you're making a video.
I am making a video.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright. Did you need something?
I was just coming to ask if I could have a snack.
Yes, you can have a snack.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, so I'm pulling out some basic black. Goodness, my Granny Apple Green. This is my last piece in there. I gotta refill my stock. Okay, so I'm taking a piece of basic black, a piece of Granny Apple Green. With the Granny Apple Green, we are gonna cut it at, it's already 8.5, so we're gonna cut it at 5.5. Alright, and then the black, we're going to cut a piece that is 5 1/4. But just stay there. Every time I set it down, it wants to slide. There we go. Okay, 5 1/4 by 4. Alright. And then I'm going to take my Simply Scored board. Yes, that's fine. Alright, Simply Scored, we are going to score this at 4 1/4. I don't know why. I know our trimmer has a score on it, but I don't know why I can't score it as straight. I do better with the board, with the Simply Scored board, so. Alright. You think it'd be easy with the trimmer because it's got the flat edge. You can just line it up against, but I think it's probably because I have 2 flat edges with the Simply Scored, and so I'm able to, you know, stick the corner in a corner instead of just one flat side against a flat side. I don't know. Somehow, the more I've tried it, I've been able to get a better score line with the Simply Scored. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out which way I wanted this card to go. I have issues with cut lines and stuff, and it's... Sorry. No, it's not anything to worry about. I want, like, the line that I cut it on the bottom, and, like, the edge on the top, and it really doesn't matter to most people, but it's one of my issues, I guess. Okay. So we will let that dry for a second. I'm going to go ahead and clean this stamp because I put it back on a shelf. It always has its little spot it stays in. And it always stays on this block. I don't ever take it off because I want it to stay the same. But I'll clean the other ones later. We're going to go ahead and assemble this card. So this is that front piece that I stamped first. We have the base card, the black piece, and our front piece that will go on the front. And then our inside piece. And then we have our envelope. Isn't all that stamping so pretty? And all of this from this stamp set. Isn't that awesome? You can do so much with this. All kinds of different things that you can make with it. Alright, let's go ahead and get to assembling so you can see the finished product. I'm just using our Stampin' Seal. I actually love this tape runner. I've talked to other demonstrators and there are mixed feelings about this tape runner. I would love to know how you guys feel about it. Let me know if you use a tape runner, if you use the glue, if you use the, like, what's your favorite adhesive to use? I love tape runners, and when they came out with this new one, I was a little bummed at first because I really liked the snail, but then this one really, really grew on me fast, and one of my favorite things is how quiet it is. Like, you don't even hear it rolling. All the other ones you hear every time you would roll it. It's noisy. And my husband and I work in the same office. And so when I'm back here making cards right behind him, it drives him nuts because he can't deal with noise very well. And just a random noise of the clicking, would bother him while we were working. And so something as simple as that makes a difference to me. But at first, it was hard to get the right angle at it, and to where next time you went to use it, it would still be, like, ready to just go like this instead of having to prime it. I went off the edge a little bit right there. Just try to pick it up because I don't like any of it coming over the edge and making it all sticky on the inside. So yeah, some people, like, you just have to kind of curve it like that when you come off. Some people would do the little, like, check mark thing to the side, and sometimes it would stay, and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, if you just roll back like that and lift it off, I've ended up just doing it fast. You kind of just naturally rip it off the end, And it actually works really, really well. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay, I did not stamp these on my normal size. So this card is going to get layered. We are going to have to cut a piece really quick. So normally this inside piece I would do 4 1/4 by 5, and it would fit like that with like that little edge. And this has a lot bigger edge. When I went to put it in there, you can see it's like a way bigger edge. So we're going to line the outside with, let me put this up here because it's already sticky and I just don't want it to stick in nothing while I cut these pieces really quick. Okay, so no problem. We're just going to do the same thing we did on the outside where we took the border with the black, and we'll just do that on the inside too. It makes the card thicker. So, I wouldn't recommend doing that on ones you're going to pop things up on. It's actually, because then it ends up just being so thick. It's hard to send it through the mail and stuff. But I think there's a nice balance in between. I really don't like super thin cards that are just a piece of paper folded in half. I like it having some, substantiality to it. That's a word. I don't know if I just made that up, but a little bit more, to hold on to, and not just like I said, a piece of paper folded in half. So there we go. That's what we're going to do with these, is layer them onto a black piece. And like I said, this will make it thicker, so when you're making your card, if you don't want it this thick, make sure you cut the white piece at 4 1/4 by 5 instead of 5 by 3 and 4 quarters, 3 3/4 like I did. I can't talk and work at the same time. I end up saying the wrong thing. I've listened to some of my videos before and I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? That is not what I meant at all. I call something totally the wrong thing. That fits better. But I have slight brain problems from all my grand mal seizures I've had, so I try to keep my words straight, but sometimes I still stumble over them. And a lot of times I forget what I'm saying in the middle of what I'm saying. And so I have to just not be interrupted and stay on track. Stay on track. Remember what you were thinking. Because, yeah, my brain will just take rabbit trails every which way whenever it sees anything. So I apologize if I totally start saying something and don't finish my sentence. I really apologize for that. I don't realize I'm doing it half the time. But at least I'm not having seizures anymore. At least we've got those under control and I can drive again and I can be a mom to my kids and all that fun stuff. I got a few little side effects from it, but, you know, we'll deal with it. I'm alive here still with my family. Alright, so this is our card so far. And like I said, I wasn't planning on doing double layers on the inside, so that made it pretty thick of a card. And I was thinking about popping this up with dimensionals before, but I'm thinking now I'll probably just lay it down flat since the card's so thick. So yeah, I'm just gonna use our Stamp and Seal again, and just get that back nice and sticky. And see, I have this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this tiny little itty bitty speck of something there that just bugs me, so I'm just going to try and cover that. Otherwise, you can kind of just set it up here in the corner, wherever. I'm just trying to make sure this thanks kind of lines up with that line, so that way we're straight. And then I'm not covering any flowers. I think that looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and press that down. Give it a nice seal. And then I definitely want to use some embellishments on this. So we're going to pull out our rhinestones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two big ones. Well, not the big, the medium size. We'll use the medium size ones in the centers of our flowers. There. And then I want to use the small ones up here around the top. We'll put one there, and then one, I want to put two here. I'm just trying to figure out where I want them exactly. I don't want it to go like in too much of a straight line or something. That would look weird, but I don't want these above each other. This one needs to be over here. So you kind of just got to think about where things are going to be. And we'll just go down further with this than I wanted to, but we'll go out there. Hopefully that looks okay. You can put embellishments wherever you want on your card. It's really free for all. As many as you want, wherever you want them, however you want them. That's all personal preference there. I mean, most of this making stuff is anyways, but some of it doesn't look so great when you don't, you know, have it, if you don't use it the right way sometimes. But some things, it's like, doesn't matter how you put it on there, it looks great either way. Alright, so here is our finished product, our finished card for today, using the Garden Grandeur stamp set. And I think it's a beautiful little mini-me of our other card that I made the other day, which inspired me. Well, so I made the front, which inspired me to do this, which inspired me to finish this and just do another card like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think this stamp set is beautiful. I mean, you can obviously color these to be any color that you want them to be. I think it's just gorgeous. Like, you can color the flowers in all the way, or like I said, leave the ends of them white like that. There's just endless possibilities when you start getting creative with colors. It's amazing. But I think this is beautiful. Tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me, oh, I completely forgot this whole time while I'm talking to tell you about the hosting. So for hosting, you can have a few friends over to your house and we can come do a card class, and you can get the stamp set, like I said, for $10.50. Or if you want to do like a little catalog party, I can get you some catalogs and you can take those around to your friends and just collect some orders. And if those orders add up to $150 or more, then you can get the stamp set for $10.50. Also, if you don't want to deal with friends and family and just want to put in an order yourself and get this stamp set, if you put in an order of over $150, then you can get this stamp set. Plus, you would get other host rewards. This would work for all the other things too. If you do an order over $150, you would get free product, plus a chance at this stamp set, plus the rewards just add on top of that. So if you're interested at all in anything to do with hosting, oh, the other way is online party. You know, I don't know, it's not as fun, but I can do a live and teach a little something, you know, like this on a online party as well. So if you're interested at all, just let me know. I can tell you all kinds of different ways that you could get this stamp set. If you love it as much as I do and want to earn it, just let me know. Thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of the week, a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you again this next week. It's baseball season, so of course life is crazy right now, but but I will try and have an awesome project for you guys next week as well. I was going to show you, I have the hosting, there's a lot of different things that you can get. There's paper that you can get. There's this stamp set. I also have the Sit, Stay, and Relax stamp set, which I'm going to show you guys a card to do with that one. Super cute, or maybe a couple cards. Begin with a Dream. Has all kinds of, you know, kindness to the world things that you can do with that. It's just, there's endless possibilities, and these ones are exclusive to people who host. So let me know if you are at all interested. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you guys next time. Happy stamping!